Welcome to episode 2 of KC Sports Bros. This is your host Ace to my right.
This is Dre to my right.
Your boy Big Ernie to my right.
CJ Mayo.
All right, before we get into today's topics, we just want to address the passing of Cedric Benson, who passed away on yesterday in an accident. We know him as the Texas standout, drafted 4th overall in 2005 draft. While at Texas, Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year, Doak Walker Award winner in 2004, AT&T ESPN All-American Player of the Year in 2004, finished 6th overall in collegiate rushing. In the pros, played for the Bears, Bengals, and Packers. So we just wanted to acknowledge that and send our prayers and thoughts to his family as well as the passenger that was with him.
Yeah,
definitely.
Getting into today's show, episode 2. Got some good topics again today. Going to talk about Royals player progression and our young talent, 2019 World Series predictions, some more Antonio Brown saga. DAK turns down $30 million. Fantasy football must-haves, busts, and sleepers. Discuss a little bit of the Rich Paul rule, and then our NBA Western Conference playoff teams. So jumping into these Royal player progressions and our young talent, we'll see how this season will end and the rest of the seasons will go with the talent that's on the roster. Big Ernie.
just kind of looking at our squad, obviously, the Royals, they're not what they were, they're just a completely different team with Kane and Hosmer and even Salvi right now being on the IR. They're really hard to watch.
Trash.
Exactly. 44-78 right now, 4th in the Central. So, I wouldn't be going home, turning on Fox Sports 1 right now to watch them. But you know what? Just kind of looking at some of the stats and everything like that and kind of just, whenever I do turn it on, a lot of these players are passing the eye test. They might be a season or two away from contending. We might be a player away, a veteran pitcher or a veteran, hitter away from getting these boys together and maybe doing something. Just kind of looking at the roster, Jorge Soler, just hitting bombs everywhere. I believe he has 35 home runs. If we can get that fact checked for me, please.
Yeah, 35.
35 home runs.
We got on the team, I believe.
Yeah. Bubba Starling, we just brought up. He had a hot start. Starting to cool off a little bit now, but he's actually looking like the player that we drafted him to be. And I believe he was number 5 pick or something like that. Whit Merrifield is looking like the best all-around player in baseball. I'll get back to Mondesi. Hunter Dozier.
Standout of the season.
Yes, standout. Hitting for average, hitting for power, playing good defense. That's
multiple positions on defense.
Yes, love him. Brad Keller, great pitcher. Young pitcher. Jacob Junis, good. He got the stuff, man. Got a lot of stuff. I believe he's like 26 right now. But yeah, we got young catchers. We got
Jorge has at 35.
Okay, yeah. Brett Phillips, who they just brought up, finally getting Hamilton out of there.
Tough to see him go.
I shouted for joy when I saw that.
Hey, I'm trash, but y'all can pay me to do that. Brady Singer, who we drafted last year, doing really well in the minors. Bobby Witt Jr., who we just drafted. They said that he's going to show a lot of promise. I haven't seen too much of him, but definitely remember that name. Jackson Coar, another pitcher that we drafted last year with Brady Singer. Remember all those names. All those people are going to be key pieces to bringing our team back to where they were in 2015.
I definitely agree. I see a lot of promise. Number one, like you said, Witt, he can play infield, outfield, led the league last year in hits. Look like he's on pace to do that again this year. Witt's they call him 2-hit Witt for a reason. He's always hitting. Like I said, I love what I've seen with Dozier. He's really taking a step forward as the season progressed. Jorge is just playing out of his mind with these bombs. I love Mondesi. I think he's a great young talent. He still got Salvi.
Wait, stop there. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Not a Mondesi fan?
Mondesi can get out of here.
Oh. Why
he cannot stay healthy. I'm done with him. I'm personally done with him. We can't rely on him. We can't.
You don't think it's just been like freaks of nature that he's been getting hurt? Like, you think this is going to be a recurring issue?
Escobar stayed healthy, was there every single day. Yeah, he hit 210, 220.
195.
Hey, check his stats, man. Nah. He better than that. But like just gave us good defense. We didn't have to worry. We knew what we was getting from him. We didn't have to worry about bringing somebody else up because he's hurt and using up that MLB time.
Until this year, you could say the same thing about Soler. This is his first predominantly healthy season. Now, granted, he's produced greatly, but I think it's a little quick, quick draw on
I feel like
Mondesi as far as
his talent has
in.
afforded you to give Mondesi time. Like, the dude is talented, super talented. His defense is unquestionable. Speed. He can hit.
Switch hit.
Yeah, it's way too early to give up on Mondesi. You're crazy with that one.
I agree with you, Dre.
Yeah, it's way too early to give up on Mondesi.
Now,
So,
I think
quick question. If we're saying they're a player or two away, veteran or maybe another good prospect, then years, what are we looking at before? I don't want to say World Series again, but at least
just being competitive.
close to being in contention, at least for a pennant or close to the division.
I'll say 2 years.
Yeah, 2021. 2021.
I think you get Keller, Junis, a couple of them with the
Brady Singer.
Yeah, the minor league
Jackson.
pitchers, the new draftees, they looking nice. I think once they come up, get in the game, get used to it, get our starting pitching back, shore up our bullpen, make sure we get a good closer, get the bats going with Soler, Dozier. I think Mondesi will help if healthy. I think a couple of years away, because even as bad as the record shows, they're still not the worst team in the division.
Yeah,
So
That's true.
yeah, and we just need to establish an identity. You know, back when we were winning games, we knew what we were. We were a bullpen team, a defensive team, and we ran the base pads.
small ball.
Now,
That's what I was
small
gonna
ball,
say, small ball.
Does Soler bat? Does his bat hold up by 2021? Still hit like that?
Yeah, he's still
believe-
young.
I believe
He's
so.
young. He's like 26, 27.
I think this is going to be the Soler we see from here on out.
I think anywhere from
he's
30 to
finally
40 home
He's
runs.
finally coming to his own. In order for them to do what they did back in those seasons of 2014, 2015, getting to the World Series 2 years in a row, with us being a small market, they have no choice but to build from within. We're not going to be able to go out and sign a Justin Verlander or somebody of that type, or a Mike Trout. We just don't have the money. We can't afford it. So in order for us to get back, we got to develop talent. We got to have good scouts out here who can identify talent. It seems like we have those people in place. I like what we've been bringing up. Dayton Moore, he's made some questionable decisions in the past. I haven't agreed with everything that he's done as far as some of these contracts that he's given out. Ian Kennedy being one of them. But
I think a proven general manager, though, up to this point.
yeah, he's definitely proven, and they definitely have an eye for talent.
Got a ring on his finger.
Okay, so we're saying about 2 years.
2021, they'll be
can make
competing.
contention. So
Contention.
with that, who's in for this year? World Series predictions. Who do we have that's ready now?
I'll be honest. I really don't give a damn about baseball as much as maybe some of the other ones at this table here. So I'm just going to go off the top. I'm going Dodgers, Yankees. Those are some of the best records that I saw when I looked up these everybody's winning percentages and everything. I'm going Dodgers, Yankees.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to set my heart aside, and obviously the Royals are nowhere. The Royals are nowhere near.
They still got a chance.
You didn't have to set it aside too far, I'm sure.
For the next couple of years, but I do agree with you. Right now the Yankees have the best record in the league, and the Dodgers are literally right behind them. Two best teams in both leagues. I think it's probably what it's going to be, and I think a lot of people would like to see that. I mean, you're going from coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, big markets, big money,
markets.
a lot of names, a lot of celebrities. I think it would be
I think it'll be bigger than the Dodgers Red Sox.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a little bit more competitive than that was too.
Yeah. I think the Dodgers may play a little better.
And I think the ratings will be sky high.
The Dodgers are on a mission too, man. They've been in the World Series these last couple times and
lost.
All the stuff they gave up for Machado, and now he's in San Diego, and they've been playing this year like the Royals of 2015.
Determined.
determined to get back, determined to win it all.
And I think people want to see Judge in October.
Oh, most definitely.
That's another guy that can't stay healthy.
Stanton also.
My prediction is I will go with the Astros in American League. I just, them trading for Greinke. Pitching is everything in October.
Yeah.
The experience they already have, they're going to be tough. And then, I just piggyback, like I said, the Dodgers, they're on a mission. So not going to predict a winner or anything. Got some time before then, but Astros, Dodgers.
Again, KC Sports Bros. You can find us on YouTube as of right now, and then eventually other platforms. Stay on the lookout as we post new episodes and as we continue down with the sports. All right, Big Earn. Antonio Brown. We talked about him on last week with the helmet, and the saga has continued. The Antonio Brown soap opera has not ended. Big Earn, what's going on?
Man, I told y'all last week I was done with him. I was done talking about it. Y'all go back and listen to the tape. We talked about him for 14 minutes.
Play the tape.
I'm done talking about this man. Trade him.
Whoa.
Trade him. Get him out of there. He's detrimental to the team. Yeah, the Raiders are the Raiders, but they need to start over. They're done. I'm sure y'all seen the breaking news. He's upset about his helmet again, guys. Breaking news.
Start over.
Yeah. GM Mike Mayock quoted saying he's either all in or all out.
Yes, sir.
Either all in or all out. What are you? I'm all out.
I think he knows.
If your GM is coming out saying that publicly, that tells me a lot.
I guess my thing is, if that's the issue still, what was the point of suiting up the other night? Like, I don't understand what his game plan is.
At this point, I feel like Antonio wants to be seen more than he wants to play football.
Yeah.
I'm questioning Antonio's love for football at this point.
Agreed.
I don't
Well,
know.
he said he don't need it.
I don't.
He did.
He's
He
made
did.
comments like that. You got the helmet thing. It just seems like he don't want to play football. He just cares about being seen, being in the public eye, taking hot air balloons to training camp. He wants to make a spectacle of everything. I just don't think he loves football anymore. I don't think he cares about football. He doesn't care about winning. All he cares about is his stats, being seen, being heard. It's all about AB, booming AB, whatever he calls himself. I just don't think he loves football anymore.
If I'm the GM, I'm getting him out of there. I can't deal with you. I can't. We gave up so much.
Are you waiting to see? Or are you getting rid of him before the season even starts?
No, if somebody calls me, ring, hello, hey, Antonio Brown, 3rd round pick, cool, he's on his way.
You can have him and his blonde mustache.
And his blonde. yeah. Hopefully you find a helmet for him. Click.
Because that's all they gave up for him anyway to the Steelers, right? Was like a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't the first, was it?
Yeah, we can check. No, it wasn't the
fact
first.
check that one.
It wasn't the first.
I believe he got paid.
He definitely got paid. He got paid. So whoever does take him up is going to take his contract with him. So it's going to be a contending. It's going to be a contending team.
That and the shenanigans though.
It's going to be a tough sell. It's going to be a tough sell to try to trade him.
And like you said, it's just hard on his teammates too. You out there busting your ass every day in practice. Going through the grind of the year, and you got AB, you looking at him like what is this dude doing? Like, does he even care? Like,
Right. He hasn't even developed anything with Derek Carr yet. The season is 2 weeks away. They haven't had any live action. They haven't really had any training camp together.
Yeah, you can't just go out and wing it
Yeah,
every
you
week.
can, you can play catch all day long, but that ain't the same thing.
Him and Ben Roethlisberger
Chemistry.
had chemistry because of all those years.
Multiple years of chemistry.
Multiple years,
like
and they hated each other.
and you won't even
Let's call it
practice.
a spade. They hated each other.
And you still see what they did.
But yeah. So that wasn't just Antonio Brown being Antonio Brown. Granted, yes, he's a great receiver, runs routes really well, has that Jerry Rice work ethic. I mean, if you see some of his videos, some of his workouts, I mean, he's going out there and getting it. But you have to be on the same page as Derek Carr.
The crazy part is the talent is there. We've seen it year in and year out. But where is his head?
mentally. Yeah, where is he? And
I mean, if you don't need football, then why?
Okay, so Steelers got 3rd round and a 5th round pick for Antonio.
Yeah. So you just got to find somebody to take on that contract and wash your hands of Antonio Brown. I'm done with them. They about to move to Vegas. I'm done.
I think when you talk about that move, like you might want to get rid of anything that takes away from football, because you gonna have to fill that stadium every week.
Yeah, they got to pay for that stadium.
You're gonna have to pay for that, and ain't nobody gonna want to come see Antonio Brown sit on the sidelines because he can't wear his helmet.
Right.
Speaking of helmets, his exchanges between fans.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just feel like it's all about Antonio Brown. I mean, he had a little kid crying, and they made sure that they had the camera on him as he hugs the little kid. Like,
Celebrity.
dude. Somebody else want to talk about him? Go ahead and mute my mic. I'm done.
When we talk about him wanting to be seen or doing things for spectacle purposes, Dre, is Dak turning down $30 million a part of that negotiation? Is that wanting to be seen? Is that just wanting to try to stay in the public eye?
I'll tell you, my first take when I first saw that, Dak done lost his damn mind.
Nuts.
the Campbell soup done went to his head. I think that's one of his endorsements. Something done happened. Turned down $30 million.
The Greek yogurt.
And it's reported that he wants more than what Wentz got. Wentz's average salary is $32 million a year. I looked that up. So he wants a little bit more than Carson Wentz got. That's what we're going. But he's not as talented as Carson Wentz. I'm sorry. Dak is average to me.
I would agree.
I feel like he's a middle of the pack quarterback. He's average to me. Now the team as a whole is a good team.
Oh yeah.
But as a quarterback, I feel like Dak is average.
I disagree on the average, and I could see him a little bit more than Wentz. You said Wentz was at $32 million a year. Mm-hmm. I could see Dak between 32 and 35, but him turning down 30 just to start. I mean, but he's asking for 40.
Yeah, the rumor was he was asking for 40, but then they said
that.
he was closer maybe to the 32.
He's asking for 40 because he's winning MVP this year.
I think he's out
That
of
is
his mind. With
literally one of the
40.
dumbest takes I've ever heard.
We muted the mic.
That is literally one.
Oh, I'm back.
I can see him 32 and a half.
The market dictates what you're going to get. He's going to get anywhere, but I feel like between 33 and 35 a season. That's what he'll get because the market is just only going up from here for quarterbacks. So was he right to turn down 30? I still say hell no. He should have took the 30 and then.
But was it a turn down or a negotiation? I think that's maybe because it was reported as turned down. But like, is he just trying to negotiate to get the numbers?
Of course, he's trying to negotiate. He wants to try and get as much money as he can get.
And
is he worth 35? No, but contracts ain't what you worth is what you can get. And so everybody I don't think Matt Stafford's worth the contract that he's getting, but that's what if a team's willing to give you that money
paid,
then you're gonna take that money. Are you telling me are you a believer in Matthew Stafford?
I believe he's worth his contract. Yeah, for the Detroit Lions, yes.
That he is the
for the Kansas City Chiefs. When you got Mahomes, no, that might not have made any sense.
The talent around.
But what has his contract done to hinder like them signing other people on that team? They can't sign anybody else.
We talked about this last week, Ray. There's not going to be any more Tom Brady's of the world, or going to the NBA, Tim Duncan's of the world, who's going to be taking all these major pay cuts just so you can put all these teams field a good team. These players need to start getting paid. CTE, all this other stuff. Like these players do not care. This is a new generation. Like they want to see the money, and then we'll figure it out from there. They need to raise the cap or something. Like these players definitely deserve money. You can look up the Cowboys is worth $3 billion or something like that. Like all these players are making the team so much money, and let's not even go into NCAA right now. Like it's nuts. It's nuts.
So one with Dre's take on that average middle of the pack. Are there 10 to 12 quarterbacks in the league right now better than Dak Prescott?
Hell yeah.
Name them.
I say no.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
I got to see more.
Baker Mayfield.
I got to see more.
Baker Mayfield better than Dak?
I'll take Baker right now over Dak.
Yeah, you're nuts, but go ahead.
I'll take Baker right now over Dak. Let me go on. I digress. Okay, Carson. Carson
real
Wentz.
quick, middle of the pack is average. So above middle of the pack is above average. You got Baker in above average status.
You got tiers. You got your
Baker's
tier
in
one.
Baker's in that tier one.
I'm just
Or tier
I'm
2.
just saying. I feel like Baker's
Is better than Dak.
Okay, how many quarterbacks? I don't lost count. But Tom Brady, I ain't even got to him yet. Ben Roethlisberger is better than him. Jared Goff is better than him. I can go. Russell Wilson's better than him.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is better than him. I'd even go Kirk Cousins, and I don't even like Kirk Cousins like that.
I'll probably stop you there.
I'll take Kirk Cousins over Dak.
I'll probably stop you there. The Kirk Cousins, but
I think that's close to the putting Dak to the middle though.
I think I would probably put him at like 12 or 13. I would. But again, each player does whatever they can for the team. I mean, Dak Prescott is great for the Cowboys. Like you can't put Dak Prescott on the Lions and get the same production that you would
It's all about system.
with the Cowboys. Yeah, it's all about the system and how they work it.
Agreed.
So, I mean, Dak Prescott, yeah, he's not a top 10 quarterback in the league, but for the Cowboys, he's worth 35.
He's also available. Carson Wentz stays hurt.
This is true.
Yeah, that's everything, man. That's everything.
I think he's got the gamer's mentality. We saw him win games for them last year.
Yeah,
I mean,
rookie season
tough
too.
games too.
Yeah, rookie season too.
divisional games. I mean, got him a playoff win. Now, granted, he's not doing it all on his shoulders. Tuesdays and Thursdays, shoulders and back day. But I don't. He's not himself completely, but he is the right fit for them.
But if he wants the Carson Wentz money, but
Carson Wentz didn't deserve that money.
But I'm just saying, he got it, but Dak's more available. And granted, the Eagles won a Super Bowl.
I think you should get Carson Wentz money.
Wentz was not there.
No, he didn't win the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz did not win the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying he didn't help get
No,
them
I
there.
got to stop you right here. This is my biggest pet peeve when people say that. Okay, I get it. Wentz did not play in the Super Bowl. But if Wentz did not have that season, he was on pace to be the MVP that year.
No, I'm not discrediting what he did.
If Wentz didn't have that season, they wouldn't even have been in position to make the Super Bowl.
But they was able to put their backup quarterback in. Man, give my mic.
But you can't discount what Wentz did that season. That's disrespectful to Wentz to say, well, they did it without him. Wentz balled out that season. He was putting up good stats.
Can we check them numbers on Wentz?
But Nick Foles definitely, like, you put in your backup quarterback and they win the Super Bowl. He's putting up numbers and things like that. That's Doug Peterson's system.
I love how
you can damn near put anybody in there and they balling out because of their defense, because of their system.
If Nick Foles was so damn good, why he been on like 5 teams?
Exactly. You're making a point for me. You're making a point for me.
Their defense didn't have a lot to do with that run that they made to the Super Bowl?
A lot, yes.
Okay, so I'm not giving Nick Foles all that damn credit.
I'm not giving Nick Foles credit, but I'm definitely not giving Carson Wentz credit for them winning the Super Bowl because he wasn't there.
You have to. If he didn't have the season he had, though, they wouldn't even been in a position to get there. That's the point I'm making.
They can plug anybody in there that is serviceable.
You can't just plug. That's easy to say that you can just plug anybody in there, but you can't. You gonna tell me Carson Wentz ain't talented?
Very talented.
He's talented.
More talented than Nick Foles.
Yeah, he's talented with no ACL.
If they don't win the Super Bowl, are we having this discussion at all about Carson Wentz? Probably not. But because they did, you have to look at that.
I mean, we can do ifs all day long. We got to stick to facts.
Look,
but the fact is that they won a Super Bowl without Carson Wentz playing in a single game in the playoffs.
And the fact is, they wouldn't have been in position to win the Super Bowl if Carson Wentz didn't have the season that he had.
Okay, but typically, if your star quarterback goes down, your team they plummets. Nick Foles played a hell of a couple of playoff runs, man.
I
just don't see how you could argue. Hang on, I just don't see how you could argue with Ernest's point that it's the system and not just the quarterback. I'm not saying that Carson Wentz couldn't go somewhere else and perform, but if Nick Foles, it's the same thing with Bill Belichick. Did Matt Castle look or not look like a superstar quarterback when he was playing for the Patriots?
and they missed the playoffs.
But he looked good, right?
And they missed the playoffs.
But he looked good.
He looked good,
right? Jimmy G looks good in that system. It's the system. I understand that they didn't make the playoffs, but the system, you can't argue the fact that the system is good and Carson Wentz probably makes it better. But the fact that they were still able to win a Super Bowl without him, it's not just all Carson Wentz. And if he hasn't been able to stay healthy, how do you say that he deserves the money at that point?
So if it was the system, then what happened the second year when Nick Foles was in no playoffs? Did you see Nick Foles that next year in those playoff games? We're
talking about last year, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Did you see Nick Foles in those playoff games? Did anybody see how Nick Foles played in those games?
I did.
I mean, if it's the system and you can just plug him, did anybody see how Nick Foles played last year in those playoff games?
So what was Carson Wentz stats before he went down last year? Can we look that up? I mean, like
the year they went to the Super Bowl or last year?
Last year, whenever he got hurt. Because what I'm arguing is, I'm not arguing that Carson Wentz is a scrub. I'm not arguing that Carson Wentz isn't top 10, top 12. I'm not arguing that because I like Carson Wentz a lot. What I'm saying is, I would not give him that contract until he showed me that he can be available.
I agree with that. The point I'm making it, but I'm just not going to sit here and let people say that Carson Wentz had nothing to do with their Super Bowl run. We can't just discount what Carson Wentz did during the season. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that his availability doesn't have a lot to do with his contract, but as far as that particular season, we can't just discount Carson Wentz like he didn't.
And
do
I
anything.
agree with you too, because a key point that was made earlier: the system is what it is, but with Wentz, it makes it better.
That's all I'm saying.
You can't take that away from him. Available,
Okay.
I mean, obviously available is the preferable method, but
Okay.
I mean, in that Super Bowl, like Nick Foles threw for almost 400 yards. Is that system or is that Nick Foles?
Well, I guess we'll find out this year when he's with the Jags. Nick Foles is trash, man. Listen, I think we are losing each other because we are arguing right now. We're saying the same thing. We are saying the same thing. The only thing I said was Carson Wentz wasn't the reason why they won the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying.
So you saying?
And I would not pay Carson Wentz. I would have not paid Carson Wentz. Is what I'm saying.
So being that he's still before the injury, he played well, and so then he got his money. Dak, who has not been injured and has played well in a good system, is turning down 30 a good thing to get the 32 to 35 because he's not gonna get the 40. I mean, let's just be real. Dak ain't gonna get 40.
If Dak gets 40, what is Pat getting?
he's not getting 40.
50?
But I do think he
has
was smart to turn it down because he's going to get.
He had to turn it. He had to turn it.
Now,
down.
reports I've seen here recently is that possibly Dak, Zeke, and Amari may not get the first contract. That it may come on the defensive side.
For who?
Byron Jones.
Yeah. And so then does that put Dak in a position to not get that 30 offer now that I've turned it down and now y'all pay somebody else? Is the money there to give him 30?
They're gonna find a way to pay Dak. Jerry loves Dak. They're gonna find a way to pay Dak Prescott and take care of him. He gonna finish somewhere around 34, 35 million a season. They're gonna take care of Dak.
I think worst come to worst, they could let Cooper walk and to keep Dak and Zeke both.
They can't let Cooper walk. They spent the first round pick on him. They spent too much. They're not gonna let him walk.
You think they pay all three though? I think if you
I think they'll see what they can get out of Cooper.
If anything,
they'll
let Zeke go. If anything, they'll let Zeke go.
I think so too. Yeah.
Dak turned into a totally different player when he had a number one receiver. That boosted that, which will help any quarterback. But once he got a true number one receiver, Dak's stats went way up, and they went 7-1 in those final 8 games.
Real quick, in them final 8, Trey, can you look up to see what Alfred Morris did?
Yeah, I mean, I
just want to see if like because to go 7-1
to back up.
Yeah,
Zeke
then I don't.
You know what?
That it proves the point of Zeke can go because Dak got him a receiver and they won games.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of last week, like if it was me, if I'm the GM, I'm taking care of my quarterback first, and then what is the quarterback's best friend? A running back. I'm taking care of my running back, and then my wide receiver, and then they got to pay a lot of people, man. They got to pay a lot of people. Alfred Morris, what was the stats from last year?
Yeah, we'll see on these stats because I think you might have already changed my mind just within these quick points. I think you got a leg to stand on with that.
Yeah.
Cooper did take it up a notch.
You said it was the last 8, Dre?
You can't just plug and play. Like, I mean, Zeke is a generational type running back, though.
Which is why I wouldn't necessarily think they would let him walk.
Okay, in those last 8 games, Alfred Moore's best game was the last one where he rushed for 111 against the Rams when they rested.
How many attempts?
When they rested their players.
The rest of started for the playoffs.
How many attempts did he have on the
16 attempts, 111 yards.
It's a good average.
1 touchdown. He had a 51-yard run
That's a gimme
in the game.
I think that's a gimme game.
Right, and so, but before that, the most he rushed in them last 8, 67 against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and they still went 7-1.
That's not saying a lot.
I'm just saying, but then they still went 7-1. So do you need Zeke on the field? And so if not, then Dak turning down 30 could possibly get him to 32 to 35.
Specifically for Dak, I feel like Amari's more valuable to Dak than Zeke is. He needs.
So does having Amari now help Dak plead his case to get his 32? Because it's like, I did that without a star receiver. Now look what I can do when I have one. Yeah, on a consistent basis.
I think so.
I think Dak is. If they asked him, who would you rather have, Amari or Zeke? Who would you rather us try and secure for you first? He's going to choose Amari.
Yeah, you have to. In his position,
he's going to choose Amari.
That makes a lot of sense.
And look, Dak didn't turn down that $30 million just to be like, oh, I'm turning down $30 million because I'm worth more. No, that's what you do in negotiations. Like, you don't take the first offer in, because if they're offering you 30, that means they're willing to pay you 35. That's just how negotiations go.
I guess the real question is, will he get it? Will they go that high?
Yeah,
I think so.
Dak is not going. They're going to take care of the quarterback first.
I think we all can agree on that.
Do they do that now, or do they wait to see how production goes between him and Amari? Or do you want to secure him early enough?
Do I need to say it again? He's going to win MVP this year. They're going to have to pay him 40.
So then there's a thing.
They need to take care of him now. Yes.
Yeah, I think they'll get it done before the start of the season.
Yeah.
And especially 35. If we're looking at how stacked the team is,
yeah,
there's a strong potential for them to make a run.
Yeah, I believe they take care of him.
They got to.
Yeah.
Got to. Start with him, and then all the other dominoes will fall.
Definitely a contender in the NFC, too.
And as a contender in the NFC, especially how we talked about with Wentz not being healthy, let's look at fantasy football on how do you pick around your healthy picks, those who are playing, trying to get the contracts, which means they're going to play better. Is that beneficial for your team? Dre, what you got? Who's your must-haves for your fantasy football?
Can I start with my bust first? I want to lead off with my bust.
Go ahead.
I want to lead off with your bust.
Lead with the bust.
Number one, I'm going to Emmanuel Sanders. Coming off an Achilles injury, 32 years old. Achilles injury is one of the hardest injuries to come back from. Please.
Especially as a receiver.
I'm begging you, do not waste your picks on Emmanuel Sanders. Next, I'm going Derrick Henry, okay? Everybody thinks
I'm going to have to strongly disagree with that.
Let me stop you there.
Let me finish my point, okay? This man has not caught over 15 balls in any of his seasons. Now, I get it. He's a runner. He's a runner. He's not in there to catch. But he has not caught over 15 passes in a season, okay? Derrick Henry is a bust.
I disagree.
But they use Derrick Henry differently. Like, he's not going to be a starter. Who's the guy that got from Patriots last year?
He's starting this year, though. I do want to say that Derrick Henry is going to be the focal of it.
He's just not a fantasy guy.
White. No.
The other guy. The other little guy. He came from the Eagles. Dion Lewis.
Yes.
Dion Lewis is going to be doing mostly getting the catches out of the backfield. That's what type of running back he is.
Yes. And as a Titans fan, I just want to throw
this in. Man ran for 200 yards twice last year.
When I say bust, I'm just saying you shouldn't waste.
They're going to run him heavy this year.
The first 4 picks, you shouldn't waste your first 4 or 5 round picks on any of these players. That's my
He's gonna rush for 10 touchdowns this year.
Let me finish. Next, I'm going Kareem Hunt. Bust. Okay, not coming back to week 9 or 10. But Nick Chubb, I feel like, is more talented than Kareem Hunt.
You're lost your
Chubb's
mind.
gonna get the reps. He's going to have to split reps.
Test him for CTE, please.
Half a season, though?
He's going to have to split reps with Nick Chubb when he comes back. Kareem Hunt is a bust.
Let me ask this. Bust. Is that anything after? Don't pick them in the first 4 or 5.
I'm just saying.
Is that what a bust is?
Yeah.
Is that what a bust?
That's what I'm basing.
Are we all in agreement on?
This is fantasy driven, though. Not
yeah.
So we're saying don't pick them early.
Next, Le'Veon Bell. His O-line is garbage.
I can agree with that one.
Sam Darnold, he's got to show me. I'm still not a believer. They're going to be low enough to stop Le'Veon and making Sam Darnold a passer. They're going to make Sam Darnold have to beat him. Le'Veon is a bust. I feel like he's coming off. He's a year of rest, rusty. I'm not a believer. I'm saying he's a bust.
CJ, who's your bust?
Le'Veon didn't rest alone.
Well, he was in strip clubs, but he got rest. It was a different kind of rest.
Let the man rest. Bust. Bust. Probably going. I do agree with the Kareem Hunt only because he's playing half the season. So if you even compare him to his own teammate, Nick Chubb, he's already a leg behind when it comes to that.
And then they have to split when you get back.
You know, you're splitting time because you're not running. He's not an every down back. And he's coming off a long time being off too. I say some rust eventually. I mean, to start off, but he'll eventually get back in the swing of things.
What about Chiefs?
Chiefs?
What Chiefs? What big name Chiefs you think could be bust, or you think they are?
I go Sammy Watkins.
Watkins?
I think
First person popped in my head.
Honestly, I think
that's a sleeper for me.
I think he's gonna be fighting with Hardman. Time and catches, touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think the speed differential there. I give the nod to Hardman because I think he'll be downfield more. I think he'll get less. Obviously, Tyreek gets the doubles, Kelsey gets the doubles, so Sammy gets single. But I think Hardman. I mean, they pay less attention to him when he's in the game because he's not Sammy, he's not Tyreek, he's not Kelsey. I think Watkins would be a bust, especially for the Chiefs. High power offense, but man, it's a lot to spread around. And do we know if he'll be there the whole season or not? He's not the most dependable either.
No, he's not.
Quarterback, I might go Kirk Cousins. I heard the Vikings he got brought up earlier, and I'm not sold on him.
Jimmy G is also a bust, I feel like. I know I think that was Ernie's sleeper team last week. Was it Niners? Did you say Niners?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jimmy G's a bust.
I disagree with you there. I think he's bouncing back strong.
I'm going to have to say my biggest bust is going to be Derek Carr. Like, I still don't think he's going to bounce back from how he was a few years ago when he just dominated for my fantasy team.
I disagree. If Antonio Brown plays, and they got Williams from I keep wanting to call him San Diego, but LA Chargers.
That's a big if, though.
If he plays, Derek Carr's going to put up some.
If he plays, does he still do enough for Carr? Because they ain't, like we said earlier, they ain't got the reps in together. So then you're learning on the fly. Do they get it in gear, but then it's already week 10, week 11? So then more than half your fantasy season is done.
Yeah, but I think they'll find a way to make it work. I mean, at the end of the day, it's football. I know they got to develop chemistry. I get that. But he's a proven veteran. He's been around a long time. Carr's been in the game for a while now. I think they'll be able to get it together in short order after about 1 or 2 weeks of the regular season, and then they'll be in sync with each other. I really feel like. I do want to go into my sleeper.
Real quick, we didn't get Big Ern's bus.
Oh, who's your bus?
I'll probably running back. I'll go with Leonard Fournette. He's never showed any type of promise at all. I actually picked him up last year on one of my fantasy teams, and yeah, he between him not being able to stay healthy, between him getting suspended, that's a bust right there. I got to see it before I pick him again. And then if I'm going with a sleeper, Antonio Brown too, get him out of there. If I'm going with a sleeper, we just talked about it. I thought Sammy Watkins with everybody getting double teamed, Tyreek, Travis Kelce. I think Sammy Watkins will, if healthy, another guy that can't stay healthy, has all the talent in the world to kind of be a strong number 2 receiver on your fantasy team. And quarterback, Dak Prescott.
As a sleeper?
Jesus.
As a sleeper.
My sleepers, I had 2 sleepers. One, we've already discussed Derrick Henry. That was one of my sleeper picks. They're going to run him heavy.
Yeah.
He's going to be more of a focal point for the offense, take some pressure off Mariota.
And he's going to wear it down.
I disagree.
Run him into the ground.
I don't think they're running that bad. I think he'll get his 20 reps a game. And I think he'll probably break 100 majority of the games if they run him right.
If he runs 20, yeah.
And so then my other sleeper pick, which is really crazy, considering my potential bust, sleeper pick for me was Jared Cook, tight end with the Raiders. I really think it depends on if Antonio plays. Jared Cook became a real focal point of the offense kind of late, and if Antonio plays, then he gonna catch more of your doubles.
I think he's moved on.
But didn't you just say Derek Carr was
I just said that.
How can Derek Carr be a bust, but then Jared Cook?
I just said that. It's weird. I just said that.
Nah, I know last year he went on team. I don't know if he re-signed. I think he might have moved on from Oakland.
Because he was with Green Bay, and then he was with it was the Raiders. He was with the Raiders.
Yeah,
was he?
Yeah, so
he signed with the Saints.
I think he's on a different. He signed with New Orleans.
He with Drew Brees now.
Okay, disregard.
Still a good pick if he's with the Saints.
Honestly,
that man's with the Saints.
Stand by that as a sleeper with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Now I'm buying Jared.
Sleeper.
Now I'm buying Jared.
Take go night night.
Dre, sleepers. Who you got?
Sleepers. I talked about this guy last week, Jameis Winston. Okay, I feel like he's gonna have a good season.
Okay.
That's a strong one. I like that
Contract
pick.
Like I said, contract here, working with Bruce Arians. I feel like Jameis Winston is on pace to have a great season.
He's got weapons.
Devontae Freeman is my next sleeper. Okay, Tevin Coleman's gone. He's in San Francisco now with the Niners, which means Devontae's going to get a heavy load of the carries now. He's a good catcher out the backfield. I like Devontae Freeman. And my last, just because I'm a homer, I'm going Damian Williams with the Chiefs. I feel like he's going to put up some good stats.
Okay.
Carlos Hyde,
Carlos Hyde fumbled his way off the team.
Not
yesterday.
sold.
Damian Williams, that will be my last sleeper pick.
CJ Mayo, sleeper picks.
Strong. The contract year is undefeated. That's a strong pick with Winston.
Very.
For some reason, I keep leaning back. I talked about them last week, too. I think I'm going to slide down to Jacksonville. I think Nick Foles could be a sleeper.
Yeah, he going to be sleep. He going to be sleep.
Not on the field. He going to be asleep in a hotel after the game. No, I think he could be a sleeper. Okay. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. At least for quarterback, I think he'd be a sleeper. Honestly, I think I want to go. And typically we go single players for fantasy, but defense, depending on your league, can be a pivotal point too. I think Baltimore would be maybe not a sleeper, but I definitely think it'd be maybe more of a.
They lost Suggs. They lost Mosley.
Are you basing it off that Earl Thomas signing?
Pivotal point. I think he still got a lot left in the tank.
Oh yeah,
he's a baller
for sure.
And I think he's got something to prove the way he left Seattle too. There. And I mean, typically Baltimore's known for having a strong defense. You're not gonna get too much on them, but
they lost a lot.
They lost that leadership though.
Mosley, Suggs,
pivotal keys. Yes.
I mean, and sleepers are cool, but then you have your must-haves. Somebody you got to draft, and I know probably on everybody's list, which was not on my must-have list, which I'm sure I'll probably get a lot of looks on this one. Mahomes is not on the must-have list. I'm not saying he's not going to do good numbers, but I don't think they'll be the same as last year.
That's blasphemous.
You're crazy.
That's blasphemous.
I'm just saying. I mean,
that is blasphemous. That's about as blasphemous as this pink shirt you got on right now. y'all can't see it, but I've been wanting to comment on it all night since he walked in.
And then
blasphemous.
My actual must-have is something I've been consistent with in the last few leagues I've played in. Alvin Kamara. I mean, you really cannot go wrong with him.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of production. Yeah,
and then I think his because he's had to split a lot of reps with Mark Ingram. I think it's going to be a lot different this year, and he's proven he can carry the load. And I think it'll take some pressure off Drew, and then allow Drew to make his runs. Go ahead, Big Iron. Must-haves.
Must-haves. Just like you, pretty much every year, I go with Mike Evans. Woo. That dude gets all targets.
Solid.
Mm-hmm. He gets all targets. And he's that big body receiver. He's fast too, so you can throw that vertical route. He's going to go get it, and then go score you a touchdown.
He's like deceptively fast too.
Yeah. I think he ran like I want to say he ran like a 4.4 at the combine. I mean, granted that was like 6-7 years ago, but
with that size and that speed, that's
a
deadly combo.
Quarterback, I already talked about it. I guess that's not a must-have. Must-have quarterback other than Mahomes is Ben Roethlisberger. Had the most attempts.
Disagree.
Had the most attempts last year.
Ben put up numbers last year.
And this year he's going to do the same thing. They're going to throw the ball. That's their offense. So he's going to just have that. All the attempts is going to make him have all the production that, granted,
definitely stole that.
He doesn't have Antonio Brown anymore.
Juju ready to step into that number one spot? That's what I question.
He was number one last year for him.
I think they coming with something to prove too. Now that AB's gone,
I think they gave Juju the ball more targets than Antonio Brown.
He was single cover, but now that he's going to be double teamed as their best wide receiver, is Juju still going to put up them stats? Because Antonio was still putting up stats double team.
You know he's going to get
You're
the
right.
targets.
You're right.
Is Juju still? Is he going? I don't know if Juju's a number one. I don't know.
He's a clear number one, but
Yeah.
we'll see what he can do.
Dre, run through your must-haves real quick.
Must-haves, of course, my homeboy. Saquon Barkley is a must-have.
Good pick.
I put Alvin Kamara as you did. DeAndre Hopkins is a must-have.
Very strong.
I don't care who his quarterback is. It could be
matter.
Jeff George, Boy George, whoever you want to throw out there. The man is putting up stats.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Kelsey, best tight end in the game. You give me Skittles. I don't care about him. He only did it for 1 year. I'm going Kelsey, still the best tight end in the game. And last but not least, he's white, but he's invited to all the black barbecues. Christian McCaffrey. This dude balls out.
Definitely.
Dude balls out. Cam
Scam.
Newton. We'll see how he comes back off the shoulder. So he's going to be doing a lot of dumping off to Christian McCaffrey. I feel like McCaffrey's going to put up a lot of good stats.
CJ Mayo, must-haves real quick.
I like it.
Definitely McCaffrey. I like that pick. And then I do like Big Ben Roethlisberger as a must-have too. Coming off AB, he want to prove something. Since you picked Kelsey, I'll go Kittle. I do think he is talented. I don't think as talented as Kelsey, but I think he is good. So I'll go there since you went that way. Juju, I like Juju too, especially I think he's going to get the targets.
We'll see.
I feel like I could say I know he's going to get the targets. Now, whether he produces double coverage, no AB, but I like him as a must-have
Check
too.
back with me on those stats in the middle of the season. Okay. I'm anxious to see what Juju's stats is by halfway point of the season.
I think he's a number one. And I think he's ready to.
Cool. KC Sports Bros. Check us out on YouTube, soon other platforms, as we keeping y'all as informed as possible. The Rich Paul rule. This was something that the NCAA put in place, stating their student athletes who are testing the waters coming out for the draft combine, not necessarily leaving, but just testing the waters and hiring an agent in the process. What they did in the rule was dictated that your agent had to be certified for at least 3 years. And then they needed to have a bachelor's degree as well as some other restrictions. After revealing what the rule was and the new stipulations, that's when LeBron tweeted and called it the Rich Paul rule. Got a lot of traction. Within a few days, They took away the bachelor degree requirement on that rule. My issue with it is geared strictly towards basketball, which is, and not to try to play that card, but it is a predominantly black sport.
True.
And then you have a black agent in Rich Paul who did not go to college, but represents star athletes such as Anthony Davis, got paid. He represents Draymond, who just got 4 years, $100 million. So he's getting players paid.
Very successful.
And so
John Wall's contract.
Yes. And what the NCAA is doing is trying to keep money in their pockets because part of the issue, too, with Rich Paul is with, and I can't think of his name, if we could look that up. There was a player, he was set to go to Syracuse. RJ Hampton, I believe is his name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Set to go to Syracuse, signed with Rich Paul as an agent instead, and went to go play overseas, and then will be eligible for this upcoming draft. Boeheim didn't take too kind of that.
No.
NCAA didn't take too kind of that. And then now here we are with the now revised Rich Paul rule, taking out the whole bachelor's degree. Okay, RJ Hampton signed with the New Zealand Breakers. And they also got Rich Paul also negotiated for RJ Hampton to get $1 million internship at New Balance instead of going to Syracuse.
Well then.
And so NCAA is trying to
Can't knock his hustle.
try to get a hold on that.
Do you, King?
So
The NCAA, if they're hands down the cookie jar, they won't let anybody else in. I mean, you can Big Brother, you can call them whatever you want, anything in that nature. If they didn't come up with it or they can't have a say in it, they don't like it. And it's tough because it's steering a lot of kids away from college, mainly because of that. I mean, they're not.
And I think that's why the rule was put in place, because it's geared towards those who are just testing the waters. And so they haven't officially said I'm leaving. But then if I sign with Rich Paul, if he can get me something, then I will leave.
They're not coming back.
And so then there goes that spot on the team that was getting X amount of dollars for that program.
Man, it's
I don't.
I mean that rule is unfortunate. I mean, as far as like, obviously, again, it was geared towards Rich Paul or African Americans who basically just work their butt off and use their intellect and their street hustle to, be able to sign all these people to great contracts. But, just really kind of thinking about it, it's geared more towards the NBA because the NBA is the only sport where you can come out at a certain age, with the, after 1 year. With the NFL, you got to wait 3 years. So that's that. But then, just kind of looking at it, like Ben Simmons, for instance, like he went to LSU, went to like 2 classes while he was at LSU.
And didn't even play in the NCAA tournament.
And didn't play in the tournament. But like, basically what I'm saying is like, we want these kids to have education, but we don't want to force them to jump through this hoop to go to the NCAA and force them to go to classes and then force them to make us billions of dollars and I get nothing. Like I don't know. I used to be a really big fan of college sports, and just, as I got older and started really looking into the dynamics and all the loopholes and everything that's going on with it, I honestly can't stand college right now. And I'm wearing a Missouri shirt right now. I know, a Mizzou shirt, but I really can't stand college sports. I don't even enjoy it anymore.
To me, forcing these kids to go to college is one of the most hypocritical things I've ever seen. In no other profession do you have to wait to get paid what you're worth. Even at baseball, they get paid right out of high school.
There was a 15-year-old playing tennis on the national level.
Yeah, Coco. She's a professional tennis player. Little black girl, Coco, is a professional tennis player getting paid. It's the most hypocritical thing I've ever seen, and which I think eventually we're going to get back to the point where these players are going to start coming out of high school again. I definitely think we're heading that way. But as any other profession in the world, you can get paid whenever you're ready, or whatever profession you choose. If you can do it, you can get paid. Mm-hmm. So why are we making these young black boys jump through these hoops in order to get paid? A lot of them are coming from low-income families, single-parent homes, poverty, and so it's not just like, all they want is the money. They can wait a year. No, some of these people, their families are struggling,
needing the money.
Like, they need this money.
I think that might be a good topic for next week, because then that's what leads to players getting paid under the table because of all of the hoops they have to jump through before they can go pro and get paid.
Yeah, and that's all Rich Paul is trying to do is like, hey, you know what? I don't want you to break the rules. I know you're not going to go to school. I know you're not going to go to class. So how about we do this instead? He's giving them another option.
They're disrupting the system.
I mean, we're talking about generational wealth.
Yes.
I mean,
and so what he's doing is preparing them to go to the next level so that they can be competing in what we see now at such a high level, especially with all the free agency that has gone on in this offseason.
Yes.
People want to be a part of competing at that level. And when competing at that level with the free agency, we see a lot of them top free agents went to the West. And so now we're looking at the Wild Wild West again.
Say it again.
Will Smith up in here?
Going straight to
get jiggy with it.
Talking about getting paid.
And so, CJ, who you got going to the Western playoffs?
A lot of parity. Even NBA, but the West just in itself. I can't take Golden State out. I like them still, even losing KD.
Yeah, Yeah, they're clearly still playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
No
playoffs.
Thompson for most of the year too.
Yeah, that's true. But signed
D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo Russell, yes. I think he'll fare well there.
Nice, man.
I like Golden State.
Huh?
I think
Whoa.
Ice in the
leave
vein.
term is ice
There
in
is
his
only
veins.
one Iceman, and that is
George Gervin.
Don't you disrespect
D'Angelo
George
still has ice
Yeah,
in his
the
veins.
ice,
Don't
man.
be mad because he produced after he
D'Lo.
left L.A.
The ice, man.
Don't be mad because he
You
produced
talking
after
about
he
the
left
snitch?
L.A.
You talking about the snitch that left L.A.? Don't make me go on this tangent right now. You talking about the snitch?
Save it for final takes.
IGGY.
Whoa.
Go ahead, CJ.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry,
CJ.
CJ. Don't get me
So
started.
Golden State, I think I still like Denver. They were strong. They made a strong push last year. I do like Portland, CJ, Dame time. I think still like Houston in. I think I'm gonna swap. Now this is in no particular order, but I think I'm gonna kick Utah from last year's playoff, and I'm gonna add the Lakers. I think the Lakers make it this year. They kind of barely missed it last year.
LeBron stays healthy. They make the playoffs last year.
I agree with you. So I think with the additions that they got this year, Anthony Davis, really it's a whole new team for them. I think they make it in. I like the Clippers, and I think they'll be higher than what they finished last year. Last year they're AFC. I think
They'll definitely be
they're
higher than
definitely
that.
like top 4.
Yeah.
Who else? Sleeper pick for me next year too. I like Dallas. I think they make the playoffs with Luka.
Full year of Porzingis. The
Porzingis,
white
yeah,
uniform.
yeah.
Hey, he
I
ripped
think-
now.
I think they're gonna be strong.
Big Iron, who you got?
I pretty
me,
much got the.
Just
Go
to
ahead,
stop you.
go ahead.
So if I add Dallas, I kick out OKC.
Oh yeah, they're done.
Oh, no,
Okay,
okay.
just had to-
it's
just had to
definitely
make sure that
done.
was okay.
They're done.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I got. No particular order. Golden State, the Lakers, the Clippers, Denver, Portland. I like Dallas a lot too with Luka being his second year and adding the unicorn into the mix. And Harrison Barnes trash, but
He ain't there no more.
he's not.
Ain't he with Sacramento now?
Huh.
But
Yeah, let's go ahead and check that. But
Verify that.
Houston and Utah. I still like Utah in the West. So those are my 8.
Dre.
I got the same teams as everybody. Only same playoff teams as last year. Only one I'm swapping is OKC because they're gonna be garbage. Swapping those out with the Lakers. Other than that, the other 7 teams that made the playoffs last year will be back in the playoffs. My sleeper team is Sacramento. Harrison Barnes, but De'Aaron Fox at point guard, Marvin Bagley. I feel like they got a good team. They were a good team last year. They would be my sleeper pick to possibly sneak in the playoffs.
They finished 9th last year. I think you're not far off with that. And I forgot to mention, but San Antonio, I think they stayed. They stayed too.
Yeah, they stay in.
I would say.
I definitely think same people that went last year are going to go again this year. Of course, like we said, mine is OKC's not going to get in.
Not a chance.
Clearly, we know the Lakers are going to get in. Clippers are going to be higher. Dallas does have great potential. I do not think that this team will make the playoffs, but I think they'll make a better push, and that's the Suns. I really think they got a year under their belt. I don't think they'll finish like dead last.
Exactly where
in
they
the
were
West.
last year. Dead last.
I definitely think they'll finish better than last in the West.
What about the T-Wolves?
Timberwolves, I don't see them making the playoffs.
Not a believer in Andrew Wiggins.
Now, granted, I don't think
KU
Wiggins has had a bad.
Huh?
I don't think Wiggins has had a bad career.
As a KU fan?
I got it. Yes,
I think Wiggins has had a.
Let's just be honest.
I think Wiggins has had a pretty decent career.
these KU players that's been coming into the NBA have been trash in the NBA.
Can we check
I
Wiggins'
love
stats,
KU.
please?
That's
I really
MVP.
think Wiggins.
I love KU, but Josh Jackson sucks. He's already got shipped out of town.
Yeah, he's done.
Kelly Oubre, he's on this 3rd or 4th team now.
Kelly's been balling though.
Yes, but he's with the Suns also, and I really think him, Booker, and Ayton could do something this
Ben
year.
McLemore,
Okay.
where's he at nowadays?
He's still with
He's
Sacramento.
in still,
I
yeah,
think
Zach.
Did he sign back? I know he was with Memphis for a little while.
Oh, really?
That's the last place
Did
I
he
saw
he
him.
must have got traded. Yeah, it's just so much player moving in the NBA. It's hard to keep up. Yeah, Harrison Barnes is with Sacramento.
Wayne Selden? Bust or no?
Bust.
Oh, my God.
Please,
And those eyes.
please.
Real quick, Western Conference Finals. Dre.
Oh man, of course I'm going Lakers.
Of course.
Of course. I'm going Lakers and Clippers. I'm saying, a battle for LA.
Yeah, it's hard to go against those picks with all the moves they made. I think the injury to DeMarcus Cousins does scare me, even though I didn't think he was going to play a lot of minutes. But I just don't see anybody else taking over. Just kind of looking at it. Yeah, nobody's going to. Los Angeles definitely Western Conference Finals.
CJ?
I think I'm going to go Houston Clippers.
Oh, the level of disrespect.
That's a funny pick. I was gonna go Lakers and Houston. That was my Western Conference pick. I really think Russ and Harden puts on a show.
I do too, and I think
we have a strong. I mean we can talk about it next week about predictions, but I really think we could see both of them battling for MVP. That's just
on the same team.
That's just my thought. I mean,
Russ can't shoot.
This is true.
Russ can't shoot.
He don't have to shoot.
He can score a lot of points, but he's not the best shooter.
He won't have to.
He's gonna be driving.
He does
to the cup,
because Harden plays better off ball. Spot up. He's gonna knock down threes all day.
Different. Harden needs the ball.
Westbrook keeps his assist up too, kicking James.
Could be nasty. All right, CJ. Final takes.
I think I do like the Lakers. I think it takes them another year to get where we think. Where the majority are saying that they're going to be this season. That's just my final take.
That's them two church services you had today. You're a little tired.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Good, but long.
Big Earn. Final take.
Just don't really look into what you've seen from the Chiefs the last couple games in the preseason. They're going to be fine. I just can't wait from the season, guys. We'll talk about it more next week whenever we see the dress rehearsal of the Chiefs. But Mahomes missed that pass to Tyreek Hill yesterday. So I seen a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram be like, oh shoot, they're not in sync. Nah, man. Wait and see.
Final takes, Dre.
Final take. Singular this week. I gotta go with something I saw on Facebook. Facebook ad for the new Ball family season coming up. Lonzo Ball has finally grown some balls. No pun intended. Well, it was intended. Lonzo Ball has finally grown some balls. Told his dad that the Triple B brand has been demolished. Stood up to his dad finally.
Wow.
His dad, of course, disagreed. Said, no, the brand is still strong as it's ever been. Lonzo said, Dad, no, it's not. The brand's done. I'm anxious to watch this. Now I'm intrigued. Lonzo's finally got some balls. Standing up to his dad.
Okay.
Making LeVar's irrelevant to me. He's always been irrelevant to me. But Lonzo's finally stepping up. That's my final take. Finally glad to see you grow up here, Lonzo.
You like him in New Orleans?
I don't care about that. Don't make me shut on this thing.
Just checking.
My final take. Looking forward to this NFL season. Looking for the Titans to do some big things this year. I really think we got a chance to battle the Texans for the AFC South.
No.
Blaine Gabbert's going to be the starter by year's end.
I disagree. Mariota's going to stay healthy this year. We got Corey Davis, who is going to be a big target as he has been, is going to get a lot more targets. And then Derrick Henry is going to run loose.
Speaking with your heart now.
I am not. I'm telling you, Derrick, mark my words. By episode 10, we're going to see that Derrick Henry is putting up numbers. Mark my words.
What do you consider numbers, though? Like, numbers can mean a different.
He's rushing for 100 yards a game and getting a touchdown.
I think he'll at least get a touchdown a game.
Leading this team to wins.
That's fair.
Push the mic if you want to. I'm telling you.
I believe in
Derrick Henry.
I believe in it. That's a good take.
Thank y'all for joining us. Episode 2. KC Sports Bros. Check us out on YouTube. This is your host, Ace. To my right.
Dre. To my right.
Big Earn. Subscribe, please. To my right.
CJ Mayo.
All right. And look forward to episode 3. Stay tuned. And as Big Earn said, subscribe and get all the latest sports info and great banter back and forth between 4 good friends, family, and our producer, Makes 5. Stay tuned.